Hello, everybody. Welcome. Sonic Sunday number 26. I'm at home today because it's snowing very hard and I'm enjoying it. We're having a great winter here in Vermont. Where are you signing in from? Let me know. Drop a note in the chat where you are, how the weather is there. Probably France. That's not morning there. Hi, Lily. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Anne. Budapest, Hungary, it's very cold. Portugal, snow in Ohio. Nice. We've had a real winter here, which has been great. I really love the snow, so it's good to, I'm going to go out and play in it as soon as I'm done here. All right, so today we're going to do an interesting session to talk about this whole idea of receiving. I was reflecting on all the things that people ask psychics about, like your career or your health or your relationship status or whatever it is. And all of these things that we desire, whatever they are, really require us to be willing to receive. And if it's something that we've wanted and just aren't getting, I would say that somehow or other your receptor antennas for receiving are not up. And one of the things that I've observed in many years of tuning is that if we were a child in a home that was chaotic, that was loud or noisy, if we were victims of physical or mental or emotional abuse, or we witnessed abuse, what happens is that is input we don't want to receive. We don't want to receive that. Who wants to receive that, right? And as a child, you can't get away from those things, really. And so what we end up doing is shutting down our receptors. Whatever, all these little things in us that are like, ooh, and then they end up going, ooh. And then we think we want, this, that, or the other, but this is going on, not that, right? And if we don't want to take anybody's shit, or we don't want to deal with the bad stuff, or we don't want to deal with our own emotions, then we're resisting receiving, lots of stuff. And when you are blocked and in resistance, it's a solid filter. You might be keeping out the bad, if you will, but you're also keeping out the good. So in order to receive, we have to be receptive. We have to be receptive. So I just want you to tune in for a moment and think about the things that you want, that you desire, that you long for, that that you wish was in your life and isn't. And ask yourself, well, what's the status of the receptors for all those things? Do I feel worthy? That's really such a big one. And I talk about this a lot, but I really discovered, in all my years, and my practice was really busy, and I saw many, like 25 people a week, every week. What I really observed was that when I got down into the kernel, the nugget of whatever somebody's pain was or problem was, story was, it was always a belief that they weren't worthy. Like pretty much without exception. And when we don't believe we're worthy, then we constrict. We make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you're constricted and restricted and don't have what you want, I can pretty much guarantee you that you are harboring stories of not worthy. If you want to be really healthy and fit, you got to be willing to own how it feels to be that way. It's pretty badass. And if you can't own your badass self, you're never going to get that way. Right? Just going to take a look at some of your comments. Icy, snowy, freezing, cold, beautiful snow, London. Actually, you guys are really from all over today. Lithuania, I love that. Thank you. You got a lovely community, a global community of like-minded souls. Okay, so the energy lately has been pretty intense. It's been pretty chaotic in the world. I've had a lot of people actually reach out to me, not a lot, but friends who don't usually reach out to me, being like, "Do you have time to give me a tune-up? Because I'm having a really hard time right now." All kinds of symptoms up and discomfort going on. Actually, speaking of sessions with me, I just added some sessions, some 30-minute sessions in the Biofield Tuning Clinic. I dropped the link in the description of the video here. So if you'd like a one-on-one 30-minute session with me, you can book it. There's only a few there. So if you really want it, go jump on it, because I think there's just 4 listed at the moment. But I really, kind of miss working one-on-one with people, because it's so fascinating. I'm sure we've got some tuners out here watching this, and what an amazing thing it is to be able to do for people. I really love it. Everybody's so different. Everybody's so fascinating, and underneath the stories, the misunderstandings, as my friend Lori Rhodes calls them, we're pretty freaking amazing. We really are. So we're not just going to be working on in this tuning, like receiving the stuff, receiving the lover, receiving the whatever. Like, first and foremost, you've got to receive the part of you that's worthy of all that. So can you do that? Can you receive the part of you that is open and receptive to then receive these other things that you'd like to receive? And so that's going to be the first step. Yeah, unworthiness is so sneaky. It's really sneaky. Even when you think that you're not indulging it, it finds a way to get in there and to do that. It's very undermining, and it often manifests in the voice of the inner critic. And it's interesting, the inner critic actually has its own tone in the forks. And it's like this growly tone. It's like, rah, 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 you suck. You can totally hear it. And it's often found in the right hip, being a slave driver, showing you all the ways that you're not good enough. So we might encounter that tone while we're tuning. Hey, if you're here and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'm getting close to 50,000. So please hit that subscribe button. I'd like to surpass 50 sooner than later. Okay, so why don't you, if you want, because this is kind of an intimate thing, I guess, but like, what is it that you want to receive? What do you want to receive that you're not receiving? Just to kind of get a sense of what's out there and what is being desired and not attained. A lot of it's just habit, it's ancestral patterns, it's cultural patterns, but I definitely think that there are those of us who are here who like really shift things up. I don't know about you, but I've been feeling the need to do everything differently, like brush my teeth differently, just do every single little thing that I ever do. I've been stepping back and widening the lens and going, how can I do this differently? And with everything, right? I know that astrologically, there's a lot of planets changing houses this year. My astrologer friends are saying that the next few months are going to be unlike anything we've ever seen. And I think this is a good thing. I like change. I'm an innovator. I like to do things differently all the time. So this is my kind of jam. When everything is shifting and changing, it makes me really happy. If you are afraid of change, if you are clinging to the way things are, if you are a stick in the mud, I think you're going to have a really hard time. So, be willing to shift it up. Yeah. Health, finances, peace, right? Everybody, money, well, like all that, right? Yeah. Time to shake the Etch-a-Sketch. Real friendship and a home. Come to Confluence. All your friends will be there. Confluence, I don't know if that I put the link in there, but it's confluenceevent.com in Bandera, Texas in May. Truly one of the probably the most amazing event I've ever attended. It is just such great community. Clients to work with. Breaking patterns is good. Finding a space and community for my practice. Meaningful place to live with community. When I went to my very first Music and Sky, which is a lot of the same crew that we have at Confluence, I was like, I want this to be my village. Like, I want to live with all of these people, right? If we all lived together, we would change the world so fast and it would be so amazing and we'd have so much fun, right? I would love to see, maybe someday we'll all get rich together. We'll receive richness, we'll build our own village. I would love that. Everybody would get tune-ups. We'd all be healthy. The free feeling of freedom to express myself. So that you can get through the Sing the Body Electric program. In fact, we have an upcoming workshop called Playing with Directionality. It is an advanced toning workshop. It is not for beginners, but if you're really curious about what we do with Sing the Body Electric and the sonic anatomy and toning, this playing with directionality of the voice, pulling things in, pushing them out, not just here, but like through your whole body. So much fun, so liberating. Everybody who goes through Sing the Body Electric starts to feel more free to express themselves. So that's a resource. Back in January when the world was on fire and everyone was freaking out, I had the good fortune of being in Jamaica, and I was using all my tools. I was using grounding at the beach. I was using the sonic anatomy. I was using the sonic slider. I was using this new system I created called the stabilizing statements. Some of you might have gotten introduced to those back in April, in my April Sonic Sunday, where I introduced the stabilizing statements. I've got that coming up as a 4-week course as well. Super, super useful tool. And all of these things that I was doing was keeping me really grounded, centered, on axis, and regulated. And I thought, my God, what are people who don't have all these kinds of tools doing to keep themselves regulated? Because if I didn't have this vibrational medicine, most of which I've created or co-created, I would be feeling pretty unstable at the moment. So I have produced lots of tools, lots of resources for you to stay regulated. And, maybe you forget about them. Maybe you forget that there's all these great Sonic Sundays in here that you can come back to, that made you feel good when you did them. I think sometimes we get stuck in the habit of suffering. And we go and we get all spun off and we get attached to our spin and our story of this and that. And we don't realize that we actually have tools right around us to sort ourselves out. Just because everybody's dithering and freaking out and getting sick or whatever, you don't have to. Like, find the resources to sort yourself out, right? This is part of being worthy. It's like, I am worthy of being regulated. I am worthy of loving myself. The more I love myself, the more I'm in love, then somebody's going to come along and be in love with me because I'm already in love, right? So remember that you have the power to shift your own state, to regulate yourself, to even in just these 25 Sonic Sundays alone, there's there's a lot here that you can just tune in, listen, relax, open your stuff that's closed and stuck in story, just get over it and believe that you're able and worthy to not flounder, right? For God's sake, stop floundering. You're so much more than that. So, okay, the pep talk. I share the Sonic Sunday playlist with people all the time. Okay. Yeah, begin by breathing deep. I wouldn't underestimate the financial needs. I mean, money is a huge thing, right? And that's why I do these Sonic Sundays for free. And why I have so many free sessions at my store. I've got like at least 40 sessions out there floating around on YouTube in my store that are free. I have been completely broke. I was on the gas and food budget for 11 years. I had days like in the winter like this where we were rounding up coins from clothing in order to buy 5 gallons of heating oil to make it through the day. Like, I've been in that place, and I was in that place for a long time. My husband was hit by a drunk driver, and it sent us into this smoking hole and then I had little kids, and then I had college full time. Like, I totally get the stress of not enough money, but I also changed that. It was very, very intentional. Very determined, very focused. I got a Sag rising. I was like, I'm getting out of this mess. And I did, with a lot of determination. It is possible to shift it up. You might have to work hard. I had to work triple time. I had to be a mom and go to school and see clients all at the same time. And it was hard, but I got out of poverty. Got out of poverty. So, don't even if it's short term, if you've got little kids or whatever, if you set that clear intention and you're determined and you're willing to receive and you're worthy, you can change the way that you are experiencing abundance, if you will. You can't get free unless you give free. For God's sake, stop floundering. I had that made into a t-shirt. Yeah, money is a huge area where we block out our ability to receive, right? And I think there's a Sonic Sunday on that. I think a big step for me was making friends with money, because I'd been programmed with the mind viruses of like, money is evil, money isn't spiritual, money is bad, I don't need money, blah, 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 blah. It's such nonsense, And, you think about all the feelings you have towards money, right? Whatever they are. And now put that on a friend. Like, if you had a friend and you said to them, you are the root of all evil, like, are they going to hang out with you? Probably not, Ken Honda has a book called Happy Money, and he talks about how you should face all your bills, and you should love them up, and you should, treat them with love and respect and bless them. And when you hand off your bills, they're blessed, and handing out all this blessed energy. You just start by making money your friend. Just make it your friend. And it'll want to hang out with you if you're nice to it more. Truly, it's an odd thing, but it does make a difference. All right. I would definitely buy a Stop Floundering t-shirt. All right, let's get tuning, shall we? Okay, before we do that, I did already ask you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Give a thumbs up if you haven't done that. And then also to just check in right now and feel where the patterns of tension are in your body that might be related to you not receiving something. Just tune in. Like, I can feel, I have this sort of chronic, long-term, very stubborn knot in my left shoulder that is an eternal work in progress from pretty significant molestation issues when I was very small. And it's very deep, and it's very subconscious, and it's extremely armored. And even with all that I've done with tuning forks, boy, I still haven't gotten that to let go, right? So don't anybody think that I'm like arrived or anything, right? I'm still on this healing journey with all the rest of you. I still have tough nuts to crack. There's still things to figure out. And if you're like me and you've got sort of a big knot over the left shoulder, well, that's a pretty significant impediment to receiving, because a lot of receiving is something that's going on kind of up through energetically through our left arm and kind of into our heart, right? It creates a circle of giving and receiving, and we receive, and then we give, and we love, right? This is the circle of giving and receiving. And if you've got a big block, whether it's here, wherever it is, that energetic obstruction is going to get in the way, right? It's in your tissues. So I would say first and foremost, it blocks us from receiving ourselves in our entirety, right? If you think that you are an avatar and you have an oversoul that is animating your avatar, if your avatar is all like, those are places where your soul can't go in and fill that space because it's all bunched up. And it's really all about us, right? It isn't about anything out there. It's really all about you and your relationship with you, your relationship with God, with nature, with your own oversoul, if you will. So just tune in for a moment to your oversoul and feel that energy, right? Feel your potential of your star being that is what you are fundamentally, that doesn't die, that's light. Just take a big breath into that whole idea, right? Because we're going to connect with the fact that we have this bigger self. It's beyond the avatar. And that first and foremost, we want to be able to receive as much of that as we possibly can. And then once we've opened up to ourselves, to receiving the fullness of ourselves, then it's sort of a magnetic intention about what we draw, right? You are your vibe. And trying to change things or look for things out there, it isn't where it's at. That's why I'm doing everything differently. I mean, I'm doing like every little thing differently. I'm ready to shake things up. I'm ready to like have a different experience. I have a different experience of my own body, a different experience of just how I walk through the world with all these little things. Yeah. Nice quotes there. I have a not left-sided issues. Yeah, the Soul of Money, Lynn Twist. She's great. I've met Lynn. Okay. All right. So you've tuned into your oversoul. You've tuned into where your restrictions are. Now let's tune into the tuning forks. I've got the 222, but that's not the one I'm going to use. I've got the 144. And I'm just going to start off by activating it and listening. We're just going to listen. And we're going to listen for the blocks in the fascia, in the tissues, in the nervous system, in all the kind of recoils that we've done. And we're just going to feel what those feel like. And as you listen, just start to deepen your breath, bringing it all the way down into pelvic floor, just gently and easily. Okay, so right away I'm nauseous. I'm like, so there's a lot. I'm going to burp a bunch in this session, I think. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. I'm sorry. All right, again, just tuning in. So there's kind of a brittleness as well as a heaviness in this. It's like an aspect that's brittle and an aspect that's heavy. Let that sound just go into these areas that are restricted. Go with curiosity. And I always start to wiggle when energy starts to move. So pay attention if your body wants to move in any way. And hey, if I've got any tuners here that have your 144, just 144 is what I want right now. Do you want to grab it and join in with me? And we'll do it together. Anybody's got the 144. And I'll tell you why I'm asking is because these are very deep patterns of tension. Like we're really going into some core stuff today, and I can feel it. And I can get a lot done by myself, but if I've got a few more of you who are throwing weight behind me, it's going to amplify my signal. It's going to amplify my signal. And those of you who are live and watching, those of you who are watching the recording, be like, whoa, there's a whole like posse of tuners tuning on this one. All right, Lily, Allison, and Christy, yay. Yay. All right, guys and gals, here we go. Oh my God, what a difference that makes. Whew, that's giving me goosebumps. So my feet are bouncing up and down, and my whole left arm is starting to really loosen and open. I'm noticing that. So the beautiful thing about tuning is that you don't really have to like try. You don't really have to do anything except sort of pay attention to what's happening. Your organizing intelligence is bathed in this field of loving tuners wanting to help. That's going to make me cry, right? So just soak it up. You got sound coming in from every direction on you from the ether, loving waves of attention and intention to help you shed a layer of not self. Some of the constriction that we carry, and especially that gets into our joints, can be other people's energy. I just had a tuning last week where where this whole layer came up with energy that was like and my older brothers, had that like cute aggression thing with me, and they would like twist me and grab me and shake me and like give me candle lights, like I had this really aggressive energy coming into me a lot, and and it ended up as like this imprint in my field. And this energy in my being, right? You think that's not me, but it was a vibrational input that I had again and again. And very much my left side, my feminine side, was like the part that, was like, against that. And so that layer came up in a tuning. And it's been really interesting now that it's not as acute, right? So all of us have many layered, or like archaeological digs, right, to get down through the different imprints and experiences that have messed up our wiring, stopped it from being free flowing. So just letting in, it's like a liquid sound. All right, I'm just gonna be quiet. Tuners, keep tuning. Let's do like a minute or so just with the forks. For those of you just coming on, we have a cadre of tuners all. Oh, it's going to be quiet. Talking and I can't shut up. We're all tuning together. Our attention. Ah. ah. So it clangs like that. That's just like a breaking up kind of energy. It's breaking, shattering, breaking, releasing. Yeah. Clearing and realigning the highest frequencies for creating a massive planetary shift in accordance to the divine feminine wisdom that has always existed within each of us. That's lovely, Fiona. All right. I feel like it's time to switch forks. Anybody want to guess what I'm going to use next? It's a pretty safe bet. It's going to be the 174. There is this frantic feeling to get rid of pain. No, I'll use the 222 later. Right now, we got the 174. So if you've got a 174, everybody wants the 222. We'll do that one next. Okay, 174. Anybody who's got a 174, just the 174 though. Don't pick up something that is not a 174. We want to keep it like big wave of 174. What does 174 do? To me, 174 is the most useful of all my forks. It's just a good, steady, dependable fork for tuning. All right, here we go. Let's see what we notice with this one. Letting go of resistance to receiving the fullness of yourself. Receiving all that you are, all that you came here to be and to do, to express and to heal. I feel like this is sort of rattling fears up and out. That's kind of what it feels like. That it's unearthing fears. Right? What's usually underneath fear? Right? A couple of things. Courage. Courage is underneath fear. Power comes when we master our fears. Fear is just a pattern moving through your electrical system. It's a story, a habit, some kind of false belief, some kind of constriction in your fascia and not letting your soul in. I'm getting all kinds of stuff going on in my left ear, down my neck, and into my shoulder. It's like squeezing that's opening up and then squeezing again. Right. So when you're receiving, around this whole idea of receiving, right, it's not going out and beating the bushes or trying to receive, right? It's literally relaxing whatever story or imprint or literal fascia knot is in your system. Right? All your tissues are you're part of your receptor antennas. Your fascia, your electrical system, your wiring, every aspect of your being is really an antenna that is broadcasting and receiving. And so if any part of your antenna is not open and functioning, then you're going to have gaps. You're going to be gapping. Okay. So now that we've done some work on releasing, we're going to keep on doing that, but I'm going to shift the focus to the alleged microtubules that are on your alleged cell membranes. Okay, what Bruce Lipton talks about, microtubules or primary cilium, that are like little antennas that sprout off of membranes. No matter what, we kind of have plasma ones, and these are these little receptor antennas that have shrunk back down and in, and they're like, man. They're like, they don't want to be picking up whatever is being put down, right? And so they went offline. So now I want you to imagine the places where you've had tension and where we were working on, that the poor little flattened face down antennas like can get up now. They can get up and brush themselves off and start looking around and being like, okay, I'm here, I'm online, I'm ready to receive. Okay, so tuning into that, still got the 174, tuners with 174s. Let's visualize that with me. Phew. Right, and they don't just have a physical component; they have an electromagnetic component. Even all your fascia, all your collagen, your nerves, your blood, like all of these are part of your electrical antenna system. And so any place where anything is deadened, right? It's getting like the 4 a.m. wake up call here. We're playing taps, get out of bed, right? And rise and shine. That's what it is. Rise and shine. So waking up. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't receive these things because the part of you that would receive them was like face down, not conscious. And we have to resurrect our receptivity, our army of receivers within. If you don't like the name army, you can change it to something else. Yeah, good. That really helps to have y'all helping me too. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to switch now to the T22. And just take a moment, drop in, and just notice what you feel from the little bit we've done so far. So we did some relaxing, we did some antenna reviving. What are you noticing about how you feel? Oh, Dawn, thanks for that update. Dawn will be adding more sessions in the future. Dawn is my wonderful assistant who I love very much and could not live without. Thanks, Dawn. Okay, so what else are we noticing? Plasma is lighting up with each voicing of our forks. Absolutely opened up. Vibrance has got the T22. Belly tension less. So much yawning. Picturing a sea anemone unfolding and waving in the flow of the ocean. That's perfect. Yeah, feeling liquid, sparkly. Whoa, y'all, I feel it. My present. Right. Well, okay, remember, this is what every Sonic Sunday brings you into a place of feeling lighter, feeling better, feeling brighter, feeling more spacious, right? Even if you've seen them, like go back. Next time you're feeling funky, go find a Sonic Sunday. Don't flounder, right? You're going to hear me in your voice. Like in your head, I'll be like, stop floundering. Muscle tightness and left trapcon. Yeah, mine feels a lot better. Yeah, buzzing around my crown. My left ear feels clearer. No, I don't do it every Sunday. I do it when I feel like it and when I can. Yeah. All right, now we're going to switch to 222 and we're going to take it home with this. I'm really feeling the solar plexus at the moment, and the idea of sort of lighting up the solar plexus because the brighter the light, the more moths you attract, right? And if we're just a dim little light in a corner, all curled up, not worthy, you're not going to really attract very much. But if you are radiant, centered, bright, shiny, receptive, and open, right, then that's attractive. That's attractive. All right, so here we go. Here are the 222s. All right. Okay, and this is going to kind of push up and push out. A lot of times we get heavy in the chest, we get collapsed in the solar plexus. There's a kind of shielding or collapsing or not worthy, has a real kind of posture. So as we illuminate and electrify the solar plexus, you might need to put your shoulders back, sit up straighter, make more room, right? Because the solar plexus is like the epicenter for your oversoul. It's not your brain or your heart. It's your radiant sun in your belly that is resonant with the star that you are. All right. So you have to really make room in here for that energy. Just let it kind of fill up with every strike. And then feel it energizing those antennas and softening even more those patterns of tension. And let it flush out any stories of like, not good enough. Make sure you're doing a grounding breath. So breathe all the way into the belly, open up the tops of your legs, and exhale down your legs and out your feet. Okay. And that kind of opening the valves at the top of your legs is really important. So breathing into the belly, open those doors, send that energy down the legs and out the feet. Connect your light body to the ground fully and completely. That's it. That's better. Stay with that connection to the ground. Also feel the connection up through the crown to the sun. Sun above, earth below, central channel on axis, radiant solar plexus. Relaxed tension, attentive receptors. Big breath. Letting any crud that is not those things shake its way out. They're down into the ground, up into the sky, out through your voice, yawn or a wiggle. Ha. Ha. Okay, let's make a tone. So sonic anatomy tone for the heart is ya. Ya. Okay, tuners, I want you to really do this with gusto. Who cares if people hear you? If you're in a place where you don't feel like you can say it out loud, you can just think it, right? But make the sound ya sort of projecting away from the heart. This is one of the sonic anatomy tones. And you can do that as many times as you want. That's a super useful tone. You can make ya anywhere in your body. Okay, we're almost there. I feel like we're kind of like pushing out, like we're kind of collectively pushing out this sort of I don't know, it's like a gray film. It's like old stories, old junk, old programming that we are all moving this energy sort of up and out of our fields. The weight of that, the stories of that, all the gunk, basically the etheric gunk that has been gunking up your receptivity. And so we're just sending it out to the light, to wherever it wants to go, to the earth, to the sun, right? But taking out this sort of, it's like spring cleaning in February of our fields. And maybe some emotions. I feel some emotions coming up when we talk about that. I'm actually hearing quite a lot of emotion in the 222. So don't resist it. Like if you're sad or angry or old, just old junk going into the dumpster, like cry if you want to, but sayonara, baby. Right? Yeah, making room for your badass self. Yeah. We need all these light warriors to be badass. Stop being shrinking, floundering, small stories. Yeah, that's it. Ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. You guys got some great comments there today. Thanks for being here. We're almost done. In the beginning, I was just going to make these 30 minutes, but I can't ever seem to do that. Because I like hanging out with everybody. I really love to have my own church, my own actual stone church that people came to. There we go. All right. So feel into that sound. That is radiant. That is energized. That is rejoicing. Like, this is a rejoicing energy. Like, yay, look at all of us. We're all so cool and we're here together and we're getting brighter. Like, yay. And we're helping each other to do that. Yeah. Good. All right. Well, this is a lovely warm ball of light. I think more than we've ever generated in this group. So thanks for everyone who tuned with me. I love that. We'll do that next time too. All right. Maybe drop a little note about how you feel, what you're noticing. The Sonic Slider Challenge is still going on. We're giving away prizes. You can visit biofieldtuningstore.com for info on that or any of our recent social media posts. If you want to dig out your Sonic Slider and go to town with that, it's not too late. Juiced up, full of love, vibrating, warm and fuzzy, so much lighter. How do I use the 144 weighted? Any way you feel like. More expansive. Yeah. 222 celebration. Loving communal radiance. Me too. Such a good thing. So necessary in the world, right? I mean, because we're isolated, but at least we can meet up like this and it's really tangible. And even if you're watching the recording, you're still here in this community with these other tuners and people who are, feeling these vibes, shifting our state. Yeah. Wonderful. Yay, everybody. All right. Thanks again for joining us for Sonic Sunday number 26. Remember, come back and listen to it again. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Get your friends to subscribe so I can get up to 50K sooner than later. Drop a like, leave a comment, and share with your friends and loved ones. Okay, everybody, stay well. Till next time.